Hello there, and welcome to the Lo-Fi Workshop. My name is Jay, and on this episode we're going to show you how I made this guy right here. So stick around and see the Zebull come to life. Here it comes. The first thing we're going to need is some toys, and I've got 3 good candidates right here. Now first up is the zebra, and the zebra is known for galloping swiftly across the savannas of Africa. And we'll follow that up with the bull's head, which is notable for its horns. With these two elements combined, I think we're going to have ourselves a fine creature. We just have to make sure everything lines up nicely. There we go. And now the final ingredient is the sail from the back of the Dimetrodon. Alright, so now that I've broken down all of the components that make up the Zebull, I thought I'd talk a little bit about the components that make up me and my crafting identity. Recently I was asked about my history with the hobby, and I found it was actually a difficult question to answer because I've been doing crafty things basically my entire life. It's actually kind of weird. When I started to get back into this hobby, I had a hard time finding information about it online because really people just call it the hobby or crafting. But if we're specifically talking about miniature making, I guess my interest in miniatures started when I was young playing Hero Quest. That was also my first introduction to tabletop gaming and Dungeons & Dragons style gameplay. Now the first miniature I remember making for myself was made to be in scale with my Lego minifigures, and I made myself a custom Minotaur out of Fimo clay. And speaking of clay, this guy's got his and he's ready for the next step. I get knocked down! As long as he can stay standing up. I get knocked down! It seems he cannot, so we'll make him a base. And while we do that, I'll tell you a little bit more of my story. So, one of the things you'll see me doing a lot of on this channel is making custom figures. I remember when I was a kid, my brothers and I, we used to take our G.I. Joe figures and unscrew them and swap the parts around and make our own figures out of them. In fact, there was a guy in our neighborhood who would carry around a duffel bag full of just random G.I. Joe parts, and you could basically give him $1 and make your own figure. So it wasn't really uncommon back then. But the first custom figure I really remember making started as a superhero's Riddler figure. Of course, I really didn't know what I was doing back then, and the paint never dried correctly and always stayed tacky. But, you know, you live and learn. Then again, I still really don't feel like I know what I'm doing. But maybe that's a topic for another video. One of the great things about rediscovering my love for crafting has been looking back on a lot of the old things that I've made. When I was in high school, I was in a pottery and sculpture class that I really enjoyed. Most of the things that I made in that class didn't survive when my family moved, but I am happy with the few pieces that I do have remaining. I haven't done a lot of sculpture since then, but these figures are giving me a really good way to dip my toes back into it, so to speak. So hopefully a future project will see me sculpting the entire thing instead of just smoothing out the rough edges with clay. Now this video is a little bit shorter than usual, but that's because I'm on a bit of a time crunch. My wife and I will be away next week celebrating our anniversary, but also attending a convention in Newfoundland. Or Newfoundland. I'm not exactly sure how I'm supposed to pronounce that, but hopefully somebody there can tell me. It'll actually be my first time over there, despite the fact that parts of my family live there for generations. But we're really excited about the trip, we're really excited about the convention. I'm hoping to make some new friends, and see a lot of people in fun costumes. But we've got a lot of preparation to do before the event, and we'll be away for a whole week, and this video comes out on the day that we're supposed to be getting back. So, I do apologize for this video being a little bit shorter than normal, but hopefully you'll understand. Let's go ahead and get to those final shots. Hello there.